Okay, we've been having some specific issues with collect clip and trying to create some motions and them reacting correctly. So let's experiment here. Let's bring up the gizmo. I'm going to change the gizmo's location, change the pivot. So let's move that pivot over here to where kind of going to work upside down for the specific project. In this particular thread, he was creating a watch case and wanted the top to open up, so we're kind of working from the bottom up, I think. So now let's add some keyframes to create the motion of opening, and maybe there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add a ease in, ease out. Okay, and we've got an opening motion there. I'm going to create another animation sequence here. Hold down the, I'm going to copy this opening frame here, and so now it'll close back. And just make sure that is an ease in, ease out move as well, so it'll be a little smoother maybe. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to collect first part, which is the open, and add that to the library of the object and say open. Okay, and then I'm going to collect the close, add that and say close. Okay, and so now I'm going to remove all the animation. That'll delete the keyframes. And now if we do a perform, do an open, notice the object did jump over to a new position, like so. A little odd, and pretty much did that. Now if we do a close, closes. Once it's jumped to that position, it seems to do okay. So let's go and look at our animation here and see what happened. That animation right there, there's a little bit of an animation. You look at the timeline. I'm going to delete that. Now everything seems to be jumped to its position where it wants to be, let's say, and now I'm going to delete everything, and let's now put our pivot, check it to the center. I'm going to zero everything out here in its position, and now when I do a perform, it goes back kind of to where it was. So I'm going to hope that's okay. And now let's add another bowl, and I'm going to rotate it. Let me turn on control. I want to get it to snap, and that will be the base, the back of the watch case. And so let's call this the bottom for now, and this will be the top. Okay, so we have a bottom and top object. I'm now going to create a dummy, or just load a dummy object that I have. It's basically just a cube. Hit Control D here, and notice it has a dummy turned on. So I'm going to parent now the bottom and the didn't take that top, bottom and top. I'm going to parent that, attach it to the dummy. Okay, and as you can see, we now have everything parented to the dummy. So let's put it out of the way. Now we talked about, I mentioned there was a clock face you might want to put inside this clock device. So let's take a cylinder Okay, let me drag a image map on here, and let's go down here and see if we can get that clock face to be appropriate for this. Let's go down to our UV settings and let's do cylindrical capped. Try the Z-axis, and there we go. Well, it's a pretty sloppy texture, but it'll work for our purposes right now. Let's put a few transform keyframes in here, and let's put one here. Let's rotate, and let's put another one and rotate. And I'm just kind of playing around. I'm not sure if this is what you were going to do when you talked about rotation, but and once again we'll do an ease in, ease out on that. And I just selected ease in, ease out. You might not have been able to see that. So now it's going to smoothly go. Okay, so let's collect this, and we will attach it to that object. Motion library, we'll call this spin. Spin, okay. So once again, we will delete everything, all our keyframes, and now of course when we select the perform command, watch what happens. It does something kind of odd, but once again we just kind of go down here and I zoom in. I kind of delete this. I don't know if you have to do that. I'm going to slide that animation all the way back. I'm going to resize what I want. And okay, now I'm going to delete everything. And let's try that perform again. And everything seems to be fine now. So once again, let's slide this up. Let's turn off the top piece and turn off the dummy. Control D. Sorry, we haven't rotated yet, have we? Let's do something before we put that cylinder there. I'm going to rotate the top and the bottom. And let me turn that on. Okay, let's turn on our dummy. Rotate the dummy. Okay, and now the top, just for grins, let's go ahead and do an open. Top opens up. Okay, that's correct. So let's slide this cylinder, which we'll call the dial now. Dial, and we will slide it into position. Turn off the top so we can see what we're doing. There we go. Select the dial and maybe resize it a little bit. Okay. Okay, and now we will make sure the dial is attached to the dummy. So now everything is attached to the dummy. Okay, and if we move once again the dummy, everything should move with it. Now once you get all your textures done, everything should work just fine. As far as I can tell, if we select the top and do a perform close, it will close. So seems to be okay. And now you can save the dummy. You could rename the dummy now. Let's call it watch, and save that as your object, and then you should have your perform commands all working correctly. As far as I can tell, there may be something that'll bite us later on down the way, but right now it seems to be working this way with this kind of funky workaround.